This evening, first up, 23 AK-47 rifles, serial numbers erased, intercepted on the West Bank, and that was just the latest bust. A businessman has turned himself in, a second suspect is on the run, and Guyana is grappling with an illegal weapons pipeline that shows no sign of slowing down. Also, Interpol, the FBI, and the CARICOM IMPACS are all now hunting a contractor who took money from young Guyanese families under the Young Professional Homes Program and disappeared. The Ministry of Housing says it has been moving since August and the net is closing. Then, no more long queues, no more showing up and hoping for the best. Ghana's online passport application system launched today. Book your appointments, take your time, and walk in ready. The future of immigration services is here. Meanwhile, a motorcycle was deliberately set on fire, 3 homes completely destroyed, 7 people homeless, and a 13-year-old in the hospital. What started in a North Sophia yard on Sunday night is now a suspected arson investigation with 1 person under arrest. And 2 helicopters collide mid-air over Rio de Janeiro, crash into a car dealership car park, and burning lithium batteries from electric vehicles send toxic gases into the air. 6 people are now dead. Those stories and more are coming up. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for June 15, 2026. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, Guyana is confronting a growing illegal weapons crisis after 2 major AK-47 seizures within 3 weeks, with a businessman now in custody and a manhunt underway for a second suspect. 39-year-old businessman Randy Jagdeo turned himself into the Criminal Investigation Department on Sunday, just hours after the Guyana Police Force issued a wanted bulletin for him in connection with the discovery of 23 AK-47 rifles and over 500 rounds of ammunition intercepted at Schoonard, West Bangalore last Thursday. He arrived accompanied by his lawyer and remains in custody. His alleged accomplice, Orlando Gabriel, remains at large, with police urging anyone with information to contact 911 or visit the nearest police station. The weapons, manufactured in the United States, had their serial numbers erased on 22 of the 23 rifles, with only 1 remaining intact. A Venezuelan national was also arrested at the scene after the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit ranks intercepted the vehicle. This bust came just 21 days after 10 AK-47 rifles were found wrapped in plastic and cloth along number 11 Village Public Road in Berbice on May 22nd. That discovery led to the arrest and remanding of taxi driver Stephen Raja, while Gregory Persson and Antonio Lowry later surrendered and were charged with conspiracy to commit a felony. Persson faced an additional illegal possession of firearms charge after an extended magazine was found at his residence. Firearms experts are currently examining all seized weapons at CID headquarters. In other news, a contractor who took money from young Guyanese families and vanished is now being haunted by some of the world's most powerful law enforcement agencies, the Ministry of Housing revealed. The Central Housing and Planning Authority confirmed that Interpol, the FBI, and CARICOM IMPACS have all been firmly engaged in the pursuit of contractor Omar Malik and his company, Dreamview Homes, after he allegedly failed to fulfill his obligations under the Young Professional Homes Program and fled the country. The ministry said it had been taking actions long before the matter became public, issuing multiple notices in national newspapers and on social media as far back as August 2025, urging Malik to report and settle outstanding financial matters. When he failed to comply, formal reports were filed, and the Ghana Police Force and international agencies were subsequently contacted, given his departure from Guyana. The ministry said relevant information has been shared with international authorities for immediate review and cross-border action, and close contact has been maintained with affected families throughout the process. Pushing back against criticism, the ministry strongly dismissed claims that authorities had been sitting idle, calling such assertions entirely false and politically motivated. Official says a multi-agency legal framework is actively in place to apprehend Malik and caution against rhetoric that distort the documented facts. The ministry reaffirmed its commitment to transparency, accountability, and securing justice for families left in distress by Malik's actions. On a different note, Guyanese citizens can now apply for their passports from the comfort of their homes following the launch of the country's new online passport application and appointment system on June 15, 2026. The initiative, spearheaded by the Immigration Support Services Department, is designed to reduce waiting times, improve efficiency, and make the process more convenient for applicants nationwide. Senior Superintendent and Deputy Chief Immigration Officer Stephen Telford described the platform as a major milestone in the department's modernization agenda. Through the new system, applicants can initiate their passport applications online and select which passport office they wish to visit to complete processing.
The passport turnaround time is 3 working days. So if you apply for a passport today is Tuesday, you'll get that passport on Thursday. That's the turnaround time. We have the process of expedite, and the expedite passport is issued within 24 hours of the application. Depends on the circumstances. You can have back that passport in half an hour.
People can also book a specific date and time for their appointment, eliminating the need to queue for hours. The launch builds on several reforms already transforming immigration services in Guyana. The department has also extended services through decentralized offices and mobile enrollment units, bringing passport services closer to citizens in remote and vulnerable communities.
Our decentralization services mainly for us to come to you instead of you having to come to us. And importantly, wherever you're decentralized and you apply for a passport, you will have it in 3 working days.
Beyond passport applications, the department has introduced an electronic embarkment and disembarkation form, allowing travelers to complete immigration requirements up to 30 days before travel, and automated e-gates at ports of entry that process eligible passengers in as little as 15 seconds. Officials says the online system is part of the government's broader digital transformation agenda aimed at building a modern, citizen-centered immigration service capable of meeting the demands of a rapidly developing nation. Stick around when we return. Guyana consults on social media age limits for children, and suspected arson leaves 7 homeless after Sophia fire destroys 3 homes.
Hey there, it's that time of year again, and Sharon Cadogan Taylor brings you the 7th edition of Dedication to Daddy under the theme Like Father, Like Son. National Cultural Center, Sunday, June 21 at 8 p.m. VIP tickets, including cocktails in the Jazzy Lounge Plus, just $6,000. Regular tickets, $3,000. Bring Dad to enjoy an evening of sweet songs, dance, and drama, and fabulous door prizes. Dedication to Daddy 7, Sunday, June 21, 8 p.m., National Cultural Center. See you there.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
A devastating fire that tore through a residential yard in North Sophia on Sunday night has left 7 people homeless, with investigators now probing the blaze as a suspected case of arson. According to the Guyana Fire Service, preliminary investigations indicate that the fire began after a motorcycle was deliberately set alight by an unknown person or persons, and the flames rapidly spread to nearby buildings. Firefighters responded with 3 water tenders and carried out firefighting, rescue, and recovery operations. Despite their efforts, the motorcycle and 3 homes were completely destroyed, while a 4th building sustained severe damage. A 13-year-old boy was injured and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital for treatment. Residents described scenes of panic as the fire quickly engulfed the buildings. One owner, 59-year-old Vaden Chichester, said he was inside his home when he noticed what he initially believed was someone throwing water near a motorcycle. Moments later, he realized the motorcycle was on fire. He managed to move his vehicle to safety after neighbors warned it could explode, but returned to find his home destroyed. Family members of the man at the center of the investigation said they remain shocked by the incident, describing his behavior before the fire as unusual and saying he had complained of feeling unwell. They insisted his actions were out of character. The fire has displaced several families, including children who are currently preparing for examination. Many have lost all of their belongings and are now relying on relatives for temporary accommodation. Police have arrested the suspect as investigations continue. The Guyana Fire Service is also conducting a full investigation to determine the exact cause and circumstances surrounding the blaze. In other news, communication professionals are calling for a balanced approach to protecting children online as Ghana continues national consultations on the use of social media by minors. During the latest consultation, public relations and communication specialists debated whether children under a certain age should have access to social media, with opinions divided between stricter restrictions and responsible use. Some participants supported limiting social media access for children under 16, citing online dangers and the challenges many parents face in monitoring their children's activities. However, other participants argued that social media also provides valuable educational resources and opportunities. It was highlighted that, when used effectively, online platforms can expose students to scholarships, competitions, and other opportunities, stressing that the focus should be on teaching children how to use social media safely. Other participants argued that an outright ban could encourage children to bypass restrictions and instead advocate for greater education on digital responsibility. Recommendations were made for Ghana to examine age-based online safety models being considered in the United Kingdom, the European Union, and India. Participants also highlighted the need to better educate parents about the digital platforms their children use, agreeing that any future policy should combine age-appropriate safeguards with awareness and education. Closing the consultation, Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, said no decision has been made on introducing an age limit for social media use. He explained that the consultations are intended to gather public input before the government develops a national framework to improve child online safety. Don't go away after the break. Venezuelans report ongoing power cuts, blackouts, and service shortages persist, and India cancer drug shortage worsens as chemotherapy prices soar.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hey there, it's that time of year again, and Sharon Cadogan Taylor brings you the 7th edition of Dedication to Daddy under the theme Like Father, Like Son. National Cultural Center, Sunday, June 21 at 8 p.m. VIP tickets, including cocktails in the Jazzy Lounge Plus, just $6,000. Regular tickets, $3,000. Bring Dad to enjoy an evening of sweet songs, dance, and drama, and fabulous door prizes. Dedication to Daddy 7, Sunday, June 21, 8 p.m., National Cultural Center. See you there.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Itins tonight. 6 killed as 2 helicopters collide over Rio de Janeiro. Venezuela claims recovery, but blackouts persist beyond Caracas. Cancer patients in India face a chemotherapy drug shortage as platinum prices soar. And cholera spreads in northern Nigeria amid poor sanitation and a rainy season. We will begin in Brazil. 6 people have been killed after 2 helicopters collided mid-air over the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro, crashing into the parking lot of an electric car dealership. The resulting fire destroyed roughly 20 vehicles, with firefighters warning that burning lithium-ion batteries release highly toxic gases. Authorities have launched an investigation into the cause of the crash into the city's western suburb. Venezuela says the economy is recovering after recent political changes, but many outside Caracas still face power cuts, water shortages, and poor public services. Al Jazeera's North Sophia reports.
For many Venezuelans outside Caracas, blackouts have become part of the daily life. Businesses have shut down, students can't go to school, there is no internet. Residents in Valencia say basic routines have become difficult during the long electricity cuts.
The power cuts are affecting us every day, sometimes for 8 hours, sometimes for 5. Right now, for the past 3 days, they restore the electricity for 1 hour and then cut it again. We charge our phones, but the ice has melted, the ice cream has melted, and that's how I make a living.
The instability extends beyond electricity. Power cuts are often followed by water shortages, forcing families to stock up on water containers, batteries, and rechargeable lamps. Others say the blackouts have damaged their refrigerators, air conditioners, electronic equipment, and they cannot afford to replace them. Frustration over conditions spilled into the streets in several areas of Valencia recently. Some residents staged small protests and blocked roads, demanding more stable electricity services.
Well, in the health sector, for example, in the laboratory area, it has certainly been problematic because we can't deliver results on time. Materials get damaged, the reagents too. Some don't need refrigerations, but others do.
The contrast between Caracas and the interior has become increasingly visible. Although there are occasional outages in the capital city, residents face fewer and shorter interruptions than those in other regions of the country.
I think this is a mockery and a lack of respect for human dignity, because it's not possible that the capital is privileged while we here in Carabobo State have power cuts every single day for 5 to 6 hours. Some sick people depend on electricity, and they're suffering.
Venezuela's electricity crisis has persisted for more than a decade. Now, the pressure is growing on interim President Delcy Rodriguez to show that Venezuela's political transition can deliver something that residents here they have yet to see, improvements in their everyday lives. Nori Soto, Al Jazeera, Valencia.
Cancer patients in India are facing a shortage of 2 common chemotherapy drugs. Platinum is a key ingredient in the treatment, but soaring prices are forcing manufacturers to cut production. Al Jazeera's Manili Fernandez reports.
Shekhar Tomar is desperate. The 34-year-old has been scouring pharmacies for a cancer drug for his father, a 61-year-old farmer from Uttar Pradesh. Shekhar finally found it on the black market.
The doctor told us the drug is not available at the hospital and I will have to buy it outside. After trying really hard, I bought it for more than 30% of the usual price.
Cisplatin and carboplatin are chemotherapy drugs used to treat a range of cancers. But with prices of the main ingredient, platinum, skyrocketing, Indian drug makers halted production because the government controls the price of such drugs. Dr. Shyam Agarwal, head of oncology at Sri Gangaram Hospital in Delhi, says he is frustrated that he doesn't have the drugs he needs to treat his patients.
This patient's life is at stake. So a substitute for platinum and carboplatinum is a compulsion. It's forced upon me. I don't want to use that. But then since the drug is not available, I have to use some combination. So I'm forced to alter the treatment of a patient because it's not available.
In response to calls for a price increase from manufacturers, the government has approved a 50% hike in the maximum retail price of the two chemo medications.
So therefore, now it makes sense to manufacture the drug, and then we are definitely able to service the patients also.
Restoring supplies will be a relief, but many say it shouldn't come at higher cost.
The government should ensure that we get these drugs when we need them, and they should not increase the prices.
The disruptions to production and increasing prices are not only impacting India, but also its neighbors like Nepal and Sri Lanka. Almost 80% of the drugs used in government hospitals here are the more affordable Indian medicines.
With most of the 36,000 cancer patients diagnosed annually in Sri Lanka receiving treatment for free in government hospitals, affordability is key. The price increase may spur manufacturers to resume production, but most patients and their families will be hoping it doesn't put life-saving treatment out of reach. Mina Fernandez, Al Jazeera.
A cholera outbreak in Maiduguri, Nigeria, is putting pressure on health workers as new cases continue to emerge. Poor sanitation, contaminated water, and limited access to healthcare have fueled the spread, raising concerns as the rainy season continues. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports.
In treatment centers across the state, health workers race against time as new cases keep arriving. It's been weeks since the first severe case was reported.
We are unable to reach to some places because of the security in these areas, so it's not easy to reach that population. And for people to come to the city also is taking some time. So we get late arrivals and it gets difficult to treat them.
Doctors say the disease can kill within hours if left untreated. And for dozens of people in the city, help arrived too late. In the Goni Waziri family, 3 members survived the outbreak.
It started with my husband, followed by my 2 children. By the time we took my husband to the hospital, he was barely conscious. It was scary. At some point, I lost all hope.
Health workers say poor hygiene, as well as contaminated food and drinks, were responsible for the spread of the disease.
This community was the hardest hit by the cholera outbreak here in the city of Maiduguri. The spread was fast because the conditions were stacked against the people who live here. Overcrowded homes, poor sanitation, and limited access to clean water.
The outbreak has exposed long-standing challenges facing communities here. Officials say preventing more cases will require more than emergency treatment. But it will also depend on personal hygiene, improving access to clean water and healthcare services.
This was as a result of pipe-borne pipes that were broken and got contaminated with sewer, which led to this condition.
With the rainy season well underway and new cases being reported, health workers in Borno State fear there is a long road ahead to get this outbreak fully under control. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Maiduguri, Nigeria.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end for regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3D weather forecast. And that's it to be True Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.